All right. Welcome to the closing keynote address of the Smart Money Summit. And I want to first of all congratulate you for going through this amazing experience where you've been impacted by so many wonderful coaches who have poured out their knowledge, poured out their wealth of knowledge for you. And I just want to congratulate you because what you is you have been weaponized. I just take it you've been weaponized for success, right? And all we are doing today is we are going to be wrapping it up. We are going to be wrapping it up with this session. My name is Dr. Asuquo Hogan-Bassey, and I'll be taking the closing keynote for this session. All right. I will go on to introduce myself and talk a few, but first of all, I'll be sharing my slides shortly, and then we can get deep into it. But first of all, if you are really excited, if you're excited to be here, go ahead and type excited, really excited in the chat, right? Go ahead and type excited in the chat, right? That's a great one. So I know you are already weaponized and set up for success. And this is just wrapping up everything. So just give me a few minutes. I will be sharing my slides shortly, talk a bit about myself, and we jump into everything. So let me go ahead and share my slides very quickly. All right, just 1 minute. Okay. Yep. Aha. So we'll be discussing where we are. This is the closing keynote address of the Smart Money Summit, and it's actually titled. I believe this is your story, Zero to Hero. Creating your digital income empire through vision, passion, belief, and consistent action. And of course, I'm your presenter, Dr. Asuquo Hogan-Bassey, and will be I'll be talking a bit about myself shortly. But is there somebody who knows he's moving from zero to hero? Right? You're moving from zero to hero. Go ahead and type zero to hero. Just now, you don't need to put the TO, just put zero to and hero in the chats, right? If you are really excited, you know you are moving. Your story is a story from zero to hero. Go ahead and type zero to hero in the chats. All right. So today we are talking zero to it's the closing keynote address of the Smart Money Summit. I want to appreciate all the teachers, all the coaches. First of all, I want to appreciate Mrs. Funke Oyende. She's an amazing person. I appreciate her for this opportunity to be with you on the Smart Money Summit. And I want to appreciate all the wonderful coaches. They've done an amazing job. They've done an awesome job in preparing you for the future, and I guess they need to be celebrated. So wherever you are, I know I'm not seeing you, I'm not hearing you, but go ahead and put your hands together for them. They've done an amazing job, right? So they deserve to be celebrated. So go ahead and celebrate all the coaches. They've done an amazing job, and we are just wrapping it up with this keynote address. It's not a teaching, but it's something to prepare you for the future, right? This closing keynote address. So it's titled Zero to Hero, Creating Your Digital Income Empire Through Vision, Passion, Belief, and Consistent Action. And I'm your host, Dr. Asuquo Hogan-Bassey. All right, so very quickly now, you see my picture there. I'll just be telling you a bit about myself. It's a short session, so I'm not going to overflog the issue talking about my story. Well, the doctor in my name is basically, it's not academic doctor. I'm a doctor of veterinary medicine by training, trained security man also. For quite a while, I worked with a paramilitary organization, rose to the ranks of a very senior officer there. I trained as a veterinary doctor, a doctor of veterinary medicine. So I ended up becoming a consultant in the canine field. So, wow, nice. Sounds like a nice job, nice everything, but I don't know if there are many of you who have ever felt this way. Deep down, there's this dissatisfaction. You know you are meant for more. Is there anybody who feels like he's meant for more. Just type more in the chats, put more in the chats, more in the chats. I felt I was meant for more. And now let me just say this. Um, life is wonderful, but life is meaningless if you do not go after fulfillment. Life does not have meaning if you do not deliberately make life about meaning. Life is more than survival. And so I want you to always know that it's not just about going through life, it's about making impact. There's a call in you, there's something in you that's meant to serve your world. And that's how I felt at that point in time. I felt I was meant to be doing more than what I was doing. My existence was meant to serve people at a higher level. And at a point in time, I did what was like crazy and unthinkable. I don't know, it was more of like you can consider at the let me say the point where I was about to peak my career. I ended up quitting my job, and it was like crazy. This is really crazy. But it was one of the best things I did. I came out and I ended up starting what I do today, helping entrepreneurs also take that path, the path of vision, the path of fulfillment, the path of greater meaning. I set up what we call the Evolve Protection, uh, Protection Evolution System. It's basically a system wherein we guide individuals and families on how they can become their best selves, transform, become their best selves, and also apart from that again, secure what really matters, their families and all that. But we find out that true security actually comes from within, and also the zero to hero um, transformation system, wherein we work with entrepreneurs to find meaning, purpose, financial freedom, financial growth, business growth, meaning, and freedom through holistic teaching. A lot of what we teach is actually from deep, deep philosophy that is from the Bible, from God's word, from how God set up things. Because we find out that if we go that way, we will actually be able to create lasting impact for generations to come. So that's just a bit about my story. I won't say now, this story is for another day, right? I won't say the journey was, the journey from where I started from to where I had to get to. I won't say it was rosy. And I want to tell you that sometimes being this, right, means through the whole journey, success comes to those who stick on a path, who, in spite of challenges, because there are challenges that will come, but in spite of challenges, you know where you're going, and purpose is non-negotiable. Meaning is non-negotiable, and you stay on the path of meaning, and you find out that everything in creation aligns to help you out eventually, right? And like my journey now is about helping people also go through their own journeys and have meaning in life. All right, so that's enough about me. I don't want this to be about me today. This is more about you. This is more about your journey of meaning. This is more about the Smart Money Summit that you've gone through, and the team and the things that you've learned. I call it being weaponized. You've been weaponized for success. You've been weaponized to create your digital empires, your digital income empires. I call them empires, yes, and I'll explain why. I'll explain why when I get into the slides. I'll explain why. So let's go in now. Very, very quickly now. Somebody say there is an awakening. This is an awakening, right? Yes, because this is a wake-up call. Now, I want to shock you with something. You have dreams, you have aspirations, you have visions. I want to shock you with this. Your dreams are not random. It's not just you wanting to do something. No, it's more than that. It's a divine invitation to create. I don't know if you've been like that, wherein there's something in you, it keeps you awake at night, something you know you need to do, you feel dissatisfied. It's not you, it's God. Hello? Did you get that? It's not you, it's God, right? And this is now, it's like something has been committed into your hands. Maybe you didn't realize that before, but I'll explain how. Something has been committed into your hands that you need to guard, you need to grow, you need to build, right? It's like God called you to co-create with him, right? I'll be talking about that more in a bit, right? And it's so important. Now, I don't care where you are in life. I don't care what point you are in life. Possibly you've been playing with your dreams. Possibly life has battered you. Possibly you are at a point wherein you are wondering whether it's possible or not. Now, I want to tell you this. If you feel as if you're at an end, now this is a new beginning. Of course, the end of the new Smart Money Summit is the call to a new beginning, right? A new beginning to go out and make impact. A new beginning to go out and, cause a disruption in the world. Yes, right? And I'm speaking to you personally also. I don't care where you are in life, how you started this summit. Possibly you may still be feeling discouraged, but I'm telling you, for you, this is a new beginning, right? Speak to yourself. Tell yourself, for me, this is a new beginning. This is a new start. It's like something bigger than you. God is calling you. Look, come on, rise up, rise and shine. This is your new beginning, right? This is your moment to rise. This is your moment for meaning, right? And do not take it for granted. So now, why do I talk about your dreams not being ordinary? Because you are not ordinary, right? You are a spirit in the image of the ultimate spirit, God. Now, let me break it down. I'm not just I'm not just saying things that you should take lightly. Now, God is a spirit. Angels are spirits, devils are spirits. You are a spirit. And guess what? You are a spirit in the very image of the spirit of spirits. That's God himself. Now, that's huge. So many times we let it pass. Right? Look, if you really operated how you were, the devil would be a small boy too. As in spirits, everything would be small. This world is a walkover. But it's like many times you are trying to sort out exactly who we are. Right? Now, of course, we know that God created everything. He did everything. Sometimes, fine, if you read the Bible, you might say 7 days, 6 days, 7 days, he rested. Most major religions talk about that. This is not a religion talk, but it's important we know this because some of these things are important. Now, if we say that, fine, he created everything he made in 6 days and rested on the 7 days, then why do we say the whole of the heavens and the earth are created by him? Because we have things on earth that were made by men. Are you catching my drift? Now, you are very correct to say that God created everything, right? He still continues creation, but in this realm, he has delegated creation to you and me. Now, catch me, follow me. I'm going somewhere, right? He has delegated creation to you and me, and he has given you capacity to create the way he creates. Hello, catch me. Get my drift. Follow me. He has given you capacity to create the way he creates. You can see some of the, if you go through the theological books, the Bible, you see how he created. He spoke and it came to be, right? Beautiful. Now, we'll go into that. You carry the very creative DNA of God himself. You are, of course, in this realm, you are meant to dominate. You are meant to imagine, create, and multiply, right? So what does that come to? Now, it goes back. Now, remember, we talked about your dreams, your visions, right? Your dream of greatness that you have. It is God's story of creation continued. Let me break it down. Facebook today we have is God's story of creation continued through a man. Hello. Tesla is God's story of creation continued through a man. God intends us to have EVs, right? And he needed to find someone crazy enough, right, to imagine, to join him and imagine EVs. He put the idea in a man's mind. When I say EVs, I mean electric vehicles. And of course, electric vehicles that are also robots, right? I'm talking Tesla. He put that dream, he needed to find a man who would be crazy enough to believe that dream when he placed it in his heart. Just like there's something in your heart, there's a picture of tomorrow you have. It might look big, it might look crazy, but guess what? It is not just you. Somebody, God, put it there in your heart. And he's hoping that you will call up the him in you, right? To be bold enough to see its possibility and work with him to bring it to pass. Hello, work with him to make it happen, right? So that's where that's why you don't play with these dreams and ambitions, when they come, you have a dream of greatness. If you don't have a dream of greatness, a dream of purpose, a dream of making impact, that's why you came for the Smart Money Summit, right? You looked at it that, look, I need to be somewhere beyond where I am. I need to go forward. But look, it's much more than just making some side change. Hello. If the only reason why you are seeing the Smart Money Summit there is, you want to make some side change to make life a little better, it's more than that. Hello. No, nothing wrong with that, but something else. If that was what you were thinking, now listen, it's much more than that. Like the opening keynote speaker talked about contributions, that this era, impact and contributions are so important in this new era we are entering into, right? And there's impact and contribution you owe your world because God put it there. The Smart Money Summit is actually like a stepping stone, arming you with some of the tools to make it easier. The things of capital, how am I going to do it? How am I going to get it done? We're still going to we'll talk a little more about that. But the Smart Money Summit is weaponizing you and helping you to realize that, look, these things are actually doable and possible, right? That vision, that dream is possible. That great thing in your heart to bring to be is possible, right? We have entered an age where there are no excuses. It's like success has been democratized. The tools to make it happen have been and that's what the smart have been democratized. And that's what the Smart Money Summit is showing you. Now, look at this. Look at what's on the screen. Now, the power of imagination. This is actually a quote from the Bible, and I'm going to tell you exactly where this happened, right? Nothing they imagined to do will be impossible for them. This was actually God talking about some people who were actually in rebellion. That it's crazy, right? These people were actually in rebellion. These people were actually in rebellion. What was that? I don't know how many of you remember, but there was a time wherein after the flood, we had Noah and his children forming a new set of generation, a new generation of people populating the earth. Now, something happened then. At a point in time, now man was meant to multiply, man was spread over the surface of the earth so that he could properly dominate the earth. But they made up their minds that they wanted to stay together and not move. That's in rebellion to what God wanted them to do. And guess what? They decided to build a tower that would reach up to heaven. It was like rebellion. It was rebellion, not even like rebellion. It was rebellion. But guess what? Because some factors were involved. One, they saw what they wanted to do clearly, and they determined to do it in unity, right? God himself said, nothing they imagine to do will be impossible for them. Now, I want you to let that sink in. God himself speaks of man, that nothing man decides to do will be impossible. Does that not blow your mind? Tell yourself, I am more powerful than I give myself credit for. Look, this is just it. You are more powerful than you give yourself credit for. What God packaged in man, if we really settle down to understand what God packaged in you, you find out that you actually are an unstoppable force when you find out the secrets to move forward in the direction that God wants you to go. Now, what did God say? He had to find another way to actually scatter this purpose because nothing they imagined to do would be impossible. So he came down, he confused their languages and all that, and he thwarted that rebellious counsel. But we are bringing out this because you see, God himself, when he creates, his creation starts in the realm of the unseen. Creation starts in the realm of that thing you call a dream. That thing you call a vision, that crazy thing you want to get done, that crazy picture of your life you want to see happen. That's where creation comes. You see, you are actually putting things together. It's not just a daydream. You are putting things together that could actually come out in reality if you put the right ingredients together, right? Now, that place you want to get to, that picture you have for your life, picture of beauty and success you have for your life, right? Now, that's actually the first point where when you see it in your mind, that's the first place creation is made. Now, when I say our dreams and visions come from God, let me put it this way now, some of you may have, now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be snide with anybody, but you may have very tiny dreams. I know it wasn't God that gave you that. You just try to whip up something And, well, you definitely can't feel at this, and all that. Now, um, somebody said something. I don't know, how did he put it? He was talking about the tragedy of life and goals. He said that there are some people who the problem with them is they don't aim too high. You get my point? In fact, they didn't aim too high, but they tried to aim so low, so low, so low, so low, so low, so low that they couldn't just miss it. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. Now, I know that a dream comes from God when it makes me uncomfortable. When I think of achieving it, I get uncomfortable. I know I need help to achieve it. That way I know, yes, I most likely I have entered into the realm of partnering with God in doing something that he wants to be done. Hello. Hello. Hi. Is somebody catching something? Now, don't be scared of those big dreams, those massive dreams when they come to your heart. The tendency is for you to shake and wonder and shake your head. Is it possible? But you see, even when now this is how you know it's God. Even when you are shaking your head and thinking, is it possible? Can somebody like me do it? You are naysaying yourself. Now there's something at the back of your mind that's still nudging and telling you that, but this can happen. Sometimes for a period in time, it may keep you awake at night. For a period in time, you see it rolling around your head. You get that is actually God speaking with you. So, first of all, the first place it happens, the first place creation starts is in imagination. Dreams are free. You don't pay for them. So why don't you have big dreams? Right? Why don't you believe your big dreams? You are special. You are not ordinary. You are in God's very image. Why don't you honor God and let him bring out the beauty he wants to bring out of your life? Right? So don't step back, right? Settle down. There's something God will place in your heart, something, a picture of your future, sometimes a picture of a massive future. Possibly it's the picture of being a global citizen. What do I mean by a global citizen? Wherever you go in the world, you are welcome, right? You are not queuing for visas and things like that, because why? You have a global footprint round over the world, a global footprint, businesses around the whole world, and the doors are open for you. For instance, maybe somebody like Richard Branson. Today he has a global footprint. Or something innovative, just like how we have AI today. Maybe something beautiful. God is putting something like that in your heart. Don't be scared. It starts in the place of imagination. All right. So the first place of of creation is imagination, right? When there's imagination and determination, you are unstoppable. Of course, there's a place of unity when you have a team, but we are not talking too much about that today. And now, another thing that is in your favor is you don't need anyone to give you permission again. Before we could give excuses. Oh, thank God, there's something I do in the zero to hero community. We call it the zero capital system. Now, in those days, you would say that, oh, my challenge is because I don't have money. My challenge is because nobody is helping me. I don't have investors. Now, let me tell you the story of Airbnb. Airbnb is air, bed, and breakfast. And what they do is like what they did was they radicalized real estate and hospitality. Well, basically hospitality. What did they do? They made hotels like Uber, wherein a regular person could let out one of his rooms in his house for a guest. And they sorted it out with an app, right? Now, there's something the founder of Airbnb, I can't really remember his name now, but the founder of Airbnb said something. He said that when they got started, in fact, nobody was willing to invest in them. Nobody was willing to give them any money. Nobody invested in them. Guess what? They bootstrapped everything. It was basically the app and their operations that raised all their running capital. Why? Because first of all, it's an app. It's an app that people can download. And if the concept is beautiful, people would love it. And guess what? What does it really take you to create an app? Let me shock you. Today, right now, this is not a technical session, but do you know today it's so crazy that you, without any coding experience, can actually get on some platforms, basically language language to software models, wherein you actually get on some platforms and can actually create an app just telling the platform exactly what you want to create. There is no excuse. I'm here in my home and I'm talking to you. Most likely you are in Nigeria. I'm not too sure, but I believe majority of the audience of the Smart Money Summit for this edition are in Nigeria. But guess what? It will be no different if you were in China. It will be no different if you were in London. It will be no different if you were in Spain. Guess what? You can make friends cross-border, right? That's cross-country. You can set up business relationships cross-country, internationally, right from the corner, your little corner of the world, right in your room, right? Guess what? I'm talking to you from the little corner of my little corner of the world. I'm at home presently now talking with you. It's crazy. It's crazy. There's really no excuse. Before you might say that, oh wow, advertising and all that is expensive and all that. Thank God for the Smart Money Summit. You've learned that some of those things you thought were undoable are right at your fingertips. So simple. Facebook advertising, just basically, going to social media, blowing your brand on social media. It's right at your fingertips. It has been democratized. There are no excuses. There was a time America could say that, oh, wow, we are blessed. America is about the best nation to be born in. Now, guess what? The internet has democratized that. Did someone catch? Let it sink in. The internet has democratized that. There is no excuse. If you don't know it, you can learn it. No excuse. Right? So you no longer need permission, just vision and consistent action, taking action. We live in the digital age of dominion wherein you can build empires. Yeah, I call it building empires. It's not because why should you build something small? Mark Zuckerberg was just a college graduate when he built Facebook. He was just a college graduate when he built. Why should you build something small? He doesn't have two heads. Hello, you've seen his picture, right? Did you see two heads on him? No. The things he had access to, now it's easier for you to find access to them. All right. So let's go on very quickly. So the zero to hero formula. Now we know that those dreams and visions come from God. And of course, you do need knowledge. You've been weaponized with knowledge. But how do you mix these things and actually make them a framework that takes you from zero to hero? How do you mix these things and make it a framework that brings your dreams, those things you've seen, those things that you saw in your mind? How do you use the tools from the Smart Money Summit, the knowledge you gain, and actually use it in such a way that you will have results? Now, the whole reason for this Smart Money Summit is about results. I will talk a bit about the host of the Smart Money Summit, Mrs. Funke Oyende. She's a woman who, honestly, I respect so much. I will talk a bit about her later on. I will talk in this presentation. But, when I met her, one thing I saw was somebody who had a burning desire to see things happen. And apart from having a burning desire to see things happen, actually take consistent action, step by step from where she was. That's why she's where she is today, right? And so we're going to be talking about the zero to hero formula. And the zero to hero formula just talks about the framework that takes you from where you are. Possibly it may not be much, to that place of greatness that God designed for you, because God did not design you to be a non-entity. He didn't design you to be something small. He wouldn't make you in his image for the sake of shame. No, it's for glory, it's for beauty. So what exactly is the zero to hero formula? Number one, you can call it the formula of creating something amazing, right? Co-creating with God. How do you create like how God creates? Number one, vision. You need to see it before you build it. Nothing happens. Let me burst your bubble, just in case you didn't know this, right? Of course, I don't want to burst anybody's bubble, but just in case you have a wrong bubble that needs to be busted, guess what? Nothing happens by accident. No, sir. See anybody great today? It did not happen by accident. They don't stumble on it. Anything you don't see, any future you cannot see, you cannot have. It's only the futures you see that you can enter into. So first of all, you have to see clearly before you build it. There was something I think it was that got from Zig Ziglar. I heard that when I read one of Zig Ziglar's books. He talked about, just give this example. Let's assume someone is a very good archer, right? And you have a very good archer, and you point at a target, and you ask the archer, "Can you hit this?" Of course, or ask anybody around. The person is so good. Can he hit this? Yes, definitely he can. He can hit it. Now, if you complicate the matter by blindfolding the person, and possibly the person did not see the position of the target before you blindfolded him. Now it gets more dicey. It's less likely for him to hit the target, except he has created an image, a mental image of exactly where the target is. It's practically impossible to hit what you cannot see. Right? Of course, vision talks about seeing the unseen, seeing with eyes that are not, not just this physical eye, seeing with the eyes of the mind, right? And you need to see it first before you build. Whatever future of greatness you see, whatever possibilities we are talking about, what the Smart Money Summit has prepared you for, you need to see it first before you build it, right? And the next thing is the next ingredient you need, the next rung of the zero to hero formula is passion. 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 In some other places, it's called a burning desire. It's called a burning desire. Napoleon Hill talked about it also in Think and Grow Rich. He talked, you need, for anything to happen for you, you need to have a burning desire to see it happen. It can't be casual. No, 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 no. It can't be casual. It won't happen if it's casual. If it's casual, you walk away. If it's casual, when the opposition comes, you walk away. If it's casual, when pain comes, you walk away. It has to be. No, no, you have to be so convicted about it, right? You are so convicted that you stay with it. You stay with it. Now, you stay with it. You stay with it. Why? Okay, let me say this. Why did Jesus go to the cross? Let's just say that because he was convicted. There was something strong. He knew he had to do what he had to do. It wasn't a matter of, it wasn't a matter of maybe, well, if it doesn't work too well, I can turn my back. No, no, no. You need to really want it that bad. And wanting it that badly is more than just you. There are people tied to your story. Mm-hmm. There are people tied to your story. There are people whose story start because your story went on its course. For example, Funke's story, the Smart Money Summit. The Smart Money Summit is part of Funke's story. But for somebody on this summit, possibly interaction with one of the speakers could be so critical in your story. Now, if she didn't see her story to this point, that means she would deny that person the opportunity of picking up that part of his story he needs to pick up here. It could be possibly a contact with one of the speakers. It could possibly be, just one word that would come that he would hear and his life changes. It's more than you. That's the reason why you need to be committed to it. You hold it like as your mission, just like how you have the soldiers and the Marines. The whole thing, it's all about the mission. It's all about the mission. We do this, right? We do it or we die trying. That's how it is with soldiers. And somehow that's how it is. We need to get this done. It's important. It's not just about, well, if it works, fine. No, 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 no. God doesn't partner with that. God doesn't partner with, oh, well, if it works, fine. If it doesn't work, he doesn't partner with that. He partners with those who are dogged to see it happen. And it's like, it keeps them awake at night. That's what will push you to learn. That's what will push you to become a lifelong learner. You don't just stop because, I've gone to Smart Money Summit. Now, no, you become you become a lifelong learner because you are hungry. You are hungry, right? And the next thing is belief. The power that moves mountains. Belief. It's called faith. Like I said, you are a spirit. You are a spirit being, and spirits understand the power of belief. Whether it's negative belief, whether it's positive belief. Let me shock you, right? Bad things happen because you end up getting to the point where you believe them. That's fear. Fear is a magnet for disaster. Most times, fear Most things people fear come. Fear is a form of belief or faith turned upside down, right? Now, this time it's belief. You saw it, God put it in your heart, right? Now you need to believe that the God who put it in your heart is serious enough, and you are serious enough to partner with him to see it happen, and it cannot fail. You've heard things in the Smart Money Summit. And why are coaching groups and mentoring groups so important? Why are they so important? Why are they so important? Because you see, they build belief. In this Smart Money Summit, you might have been wondering whether some things were possible, but you've heard people who have made it happen talk to you. You've seen their lives. Sometimes that's the power of a mastermind or just some coaching groups. It's not about do it this way, do it that way, even though, yes, access to that and guidance from that is beautiful. But by the time you interact with a set of people who have seen it happen, for instance, people who have done network marketing before and have been successful in it. I'm not talking of people who just did and cough and failed. You find out that success grows in an environment wherein, one person has been successful, and other people come together and say, this is possible, right? And it builds belief. Belief it's powerful, right? And God respects belief and brings things to happen. Nothing happens without your belief. You need to believe that that powerful vision you have is possible. Now, the next thing is consistent action. Consistent action. Consistent action, that's the bridge between dreams and reality. Everything is so beautiful. We've learned how God creates. But remember, when God created man, he also, the Bible says he formed man from the dust of the earth. There's a point wherein the things in your heart, you now have to interpret them on the ground by action, taking action. That's why they say faith without works is dead. Miracles happen because people put work and faith together. They combine work and faith. That's why wonderful things happen, right? So it's very important. Consistent action is the bridge between dreams and destiny. So, like we've said, we talked about it. Vision, you can't rise beyond what you can see. Vision gives pain a purpose and chaos a direction. Vision changes things, and it's the first point of creation. All right, you need to have a powerful vision. You need to have desire, burning passion, burning passion. Yeah, overheats, burning passion. Desire is that fire that keeps you moving when motivation fades. They will get to a point wherein, all the excitement. Wow, this is a nice talk and everything like that. You're excited. You went through the Smart Money Summit. You heard the opening keynote speaker. Yeah, and you heard all the speakers were pumped. You were excited. And Mrs. Funke came on. And, Funke came on and she excited. She charged you and said, yes, 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 it's possible. You are within the group of possibility. And everything seems wonderful, but you will get to the point wherein maybe you tried it the first time and possibly, of course, there are some people you tried and it works just like that. And of course, when you stay closer to your coaches, it's easier to get that. You tried it the first time and it didn't work like how I expected. You tried it the next time, tried it the next time, tried it, and then next week said, maybe this isn't just for me. Maybe no, it's not that way. No, it has to burn. It has to burn. And guess what? When it burns, God respects that. God multiplies momentum, right? So you need to have, it needs to be like a fire, right? And sometimes you also find that fire by keeping around the right company of people. People who also believe it's possible. Make some friends in this summit, possibly. Make some friends. I know you've been together in a group. Make some friends, keep Mrs. Funke as a contact. Now, I'll tell you a little about Funke before I talk about her story. She actually attended a summit that she was an attendee on a summit I had long time ago. And one thing that really, struck me was like she made a friend, she made a friend on that summit. Someone, I don't know if she's still in contact with her. I still am in contact with the lady, Yon Cannon, business coach. I know she just said she wanted to talk with her and everything, and she got that connection. Now, when you keep yourself in the Young Cannon Paramount Business Coach, is an international business coach. Now, when you keep yourself in the right circle, right, it fuels your passion. It fuels belief, it fuels passion, right? So also do that. So that's one of the things that make happen. Remember, we talked about belief. Before the world believes in you, you must believe in you. You must believe in yourself. You must, right? There, there will be times you will doubt. Doubt will show up its face, right? But feed your faith and starve your doubt. I'll talk about one of my mentors, Russell Brunson. You know why I talk about him? Because I followed his story. I knew when he was writing as a young college student, of course, he was already at a level of success there. I used to follow him there. I think that would have been like 2015, 2017 about. I used to follow him. No, it would be a little earlier than that, a little earlier than that. I mean, sorry, more of like 2007, 2008, thereabouts, then 2007, 2008, thereabouts. And, it's like the transition over time. Today, he runs $1 billion company, but he started out as a confused young student who probably was, trying to figure it out. His first product was DVDs that were teaching people how to make computer. He was just trying to figure it out. But guess what kept him there? He says it every day. You need to believe. You need to believe it's possible. If you don't believe it's possible, it doesn't happen, right? So believe very important. And consistent action. Dreams work when you do. I wish there was no need to do the work. Everybody would wish that. Forget what anybody says. Everybody would wish that, right? That you could just snap your fingers and it happens. No. But that's not how God is. And you are in God's image. God works. There was something Jesus said about God. He says, till today, his father is working, and he too is working. God works. Dreams happen when you work. They happen when you work, right? Dreams work when you do. Consistency builds brilliance. Who was it that said that? Yes, I think that was Jim Rohn. He was talking about something he calls the law of averages, and he said something. Jim Rohn is like a very in those days he's dead now, but he's actually a transformational coach that has had influence in so many lives. He had contact with Tony Robbins. He had big influence on Tony Robbins' life, Les Brown. A number of major transformational coaches had contact with him also. And there was something that Jim Rohn said. He called it the law of averages. And it's just like this, like, even if somebody is better than you at what they do, you can actually outwork them. For instance, if we are meant to do reps on something, for instance, we are meant to repeat something. For instance, okay, if you do it 3 times, you get a result. But I need to do it like 30 times for me to get the kind of result you get. So if I want to beat you, what I just do is that I consistently do my 30 times, I do 60 times, I do 90 times, I do 100 times. I will consistently beat you because I am consistently taking action. Hello, it's not just action. It's like consistently doing what you need to do. Now, it's not just consistently, relentlessly, persistently doing what you need to do. Yes, do something every day in the direction of your progress. But guess what? Let me shock you. Don't just do something every day. There's this book. Try and look for this book by Grant Cardone, the 10x rule. Try and read that book, right? They put it as an assignment. Read the 10x rule. Now, look, don't just do the things that you need to get done. No. What you need to push in is all out massive action. Do it like a madman. If you know you are meant to do it, everybody expects you to do it 10 times, right? Good. You want to be exceptional, do it 100 times. It sounds extreme, but the fulfillment of your dreams coming to be, is it worth it? I want you to see the picture of the beautiful future you have in mind. I want you to just imagine that beautiful future you have in mind. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to put everything in it? I think it is. I think it is. All right. Now, very, very quickly, I've talked about Russell Brunson's story. You read about him, young college graduate, just like you, possibly, might be like some of you on this summit. Young college graduate who didn't know anything, just was coming, trying to figure it out, failed. The first time he actually did an email marketing campaign, he actually spammed people. What he did was, that was in the times when the internet was just starting, and it was, it was this dial-up internet. And they actually shut down the internet for the whole family. Then he got married while he was in college, and he didn't know how he would tell his wife. He told us talked of stories wherein they had no money for Christmas, and he didn't know how he would tell his wife that there was no money for Christmas. Crazy things like that. He talks about times when he cried, when he was, yeah. But today he runs $1 billion company, ClickFunnels. I don't need to talk about other stories we've seen. There was a summit wherein I didn't know Elon Musk would be Elon Musk would become one of the richest men in the world at that point in time. But just his track record then, he was a topic we talked about. And, I did a bit of research. He didn't start out big. He was just one scrawny, young nerd like that, small, young boy. They started PayPal. Nobody knew eventually they would become something. But look at him today, right? You see, it's still the same framework. And guess what? They don't have two heads. It can also be your story, right? Now, let me tell you a bit about Mrs. Funke. I'm going to say this. I know she will not mind me saying this, right? And it actually excites me about her, right? Some years ago, I held a summit for young startup entrepreneurs. It's called the ESG Success Mindset Summit for young startup entrepreneurs who want to stand out, stand out and scale up their businesses. And out of all the attendees that came for that summit, there was one person that really blew my mind, and that was Funke. You know, After I have a session, she would just, next thing someone will chat me up, please, sir, sorry, don't be annoyed. This one, how do you this? How did this? And it was like, it was so exciting, right? And to the point where some of the speakers that came, because it was actually speakers from outside the country. Majority of the speakers were from outside the country, and she's one person. I think that was Young Kano. That was what I was talking about. She said she wanted to meet up with her, and she I did a connection that way, and it was so exciting. Now I saw something in this young lady. I saw fire. I saw passion, and I knew this lady is going far. Today she has gone far, really far. How do I know she has gone far? How do I know she has gone far? It's like I see her, I still keep in touch with what she's doing. There was a time she shared something that really struck me. I saw a team of young people all around her, like students and things like that. All of them, grateful people, all snapping her photo, grateful people because she had impacted their lives. And of course, Smart Money Summit is just one of the things she has done. She's done so much in the digital space, and she's going farther and farther every day. Not just creating a digital empire for herself, but helping other people create their own digital income empires. Right? Isn't that something amazing? That's real amazing. Real amazing. And it's something I want you to hold on to. I don't care where you are starting from. Where you are starting from is not the issue. The issue is what is possible. The issue is God did not create you in non-entity, and he has a direction for you. And if you hold his hand, right, and you can believe and be passionate about becoming what you want to be enough, the whole of heaven will back you up to make it happen. So, like I said, information doesn't create transformation. It's implementation that does, right? You find out that, yes, every step of the ladder, those 4 steps are important: vision, burning passion, belief, and consistent action. But what actually ends up bringing it finally, downloading it to the earth, is implementation, action, right? So everything you learned in the Smart Money Summit, start putting it to practice, right? They are your tools. They are like the weapons you have. The weapons you have to make this happen, right? You need knowledge, and guess what? Don't stop at this. Be like Funke. Don't stop at the Smart Money Summit, right? Funke has, between the time she came for that summit till now, she has gained wealth. I mean, heavy knowledge. You understand? And how do you do it? Every day you are learning. Every day you are hungry. Because you are hungry, you are learning, right? And then apart from that, you implement, right? Because faith without works is dead, but faith with action bets destiny. So I say this: believe, become, create your empire. I'm not saying create that. Yes, no problem. You can start out with the extra income. No problem about that. But I know what's in you. There's an empire to conquer in you. There's an empire in you. There's an empire to build in you. So believe. As you believe, you become. You already are. Hello. Now, you are not waiting to become the image of God. You already are the image of God. But your belief and your understanding make you operate in what you already are. And so it's like you become. And as you become, don't stop there. Hello, don't stop there. Build, create your empire. Create your empire. Remember, you are created in God's image. I want you to say this after me. I am created in God's image. Say it again. I am created in God's image. I rise, I build, and I prosper. Woo! Ah, somebody excited about that. Come on, give a shout. Whoa! Wow, I know the top is meant for you. I love this that Les Brown says. It's not over till you win, and you must win. You must win. You must win. You are destined to win. You are destined for success. You are destined for greatness, and you will get there. All right, so closing quote. I want you to close with this. Now, I don't want you to just gloss over it. I want you to meditate on it, right? Now, it's a quote by me. Impact is possible if you will believe and consistently take action in the face of opposition. There will be opposition. Hello. Now, don't say I'm wishing, negative for you. There usually always is opposition. Fine, I wish you a very smooth path. Some parts will be smoother than others. But guess what? Possibly, even if you have some opposition on the way, maybe God is cooking you because where you are going is great. The way you dig a foundation for a skyscraper is not the way you dig foundation for a bungalow. So sometimes, if what you are going to build upon that superstructure is much, it's possible that the opposition may be much, right? But you need to still consistently take action in the face of opposition. So like what I'm saying, closing quote, impact is possible if you will believe and consistently take action in the face of opposition. Listen to this, please. If you don't hear anything I said, hear this. Heaven is already on the side of the one who decides fulfilling purpose is not negotiable. If you make up your mind, say, Father, Lord, I want to know exactly what you want me to be. I want that. I'm a business person. Fine, amazing. Lord, let me see the impact I'm meant to make. I'm not talking about some wishy-washy, just side money. No, it's much more than that. But make it clear to me, what impact am I meant to make upon this earth, right? Guess what? Guess what? If you take it as like your mission, heaven is already on your side and saying nothing can make you stop. That's why people say the universe, everything in the universe bends to the one who makes a decision. Yeah. It's just, I'm saying the whole how. I don't say universe, I say God because I know it's God, right? Heaven is already on the side of the one who decides fulfilling purpose. If you decide fulfilling purpose is non-negotiable, the whole of the resources of heaven and earth are dead back here. All right. So God bless you. Have a lovely, 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 lovely day. And remember, go on and implement everything you've learned. I love you. Every one of your coaches love you. We are rooting for your success. We see you at the top. God bless you real good. God bless you. God bless you. And God bless you. All right. So let me be stopping the share and ending this.